The miracle of community and Christmas spirit. It was a cold December night, and the small town of Evergreen was cloaked in snow. Strings of golden lights twinkled on every street corner, and the scent of pine and cinnamon filled the air. At the edge of town stood the Evergreen Inn, a cozy, time-worn lodge that had been the heart of the community for decades. Mrs. Clara Jensen, the innkeeper, was bustling around the lobby, her silver hair catching the warm glow of the crackling fireplace. Though the holiday season brought visitors, this year had been quieter than usual. The inn was struggling, and Clara feared it might be the last Christmas at Evergreen Inn. As she set a tray of cookies on the counter, the sound of the front door jingling pulled her attention. A young boy, bundled in an oversized coat, stood in the doorway, his cheeks flushed from the cold. Behind him was his mother, her face lined with exhaustion. "Hello," the woman said hesitantly. "We heard you might have a room. My son and I, we don't have anywhere else to go." Clara's heart ached at the sight of them. "Of course," she said gently. "Come in. Let me get you warmed up." That night, as the boy and his mother settled into their modest room, Clara learned their story. Emily had lost her job earlier that year, and their home shortly after. They had been traveling in search of work, but had run out of options and hope. The next morning, Christmas Eve, the townsfolk began arriving at the inn for their traditional potluck breakfast. Clara shared Emily and her son's story with a few trusted friends. Before long, word spread through the gathering. By the afternoon, the townspeople had come together. A local farmer donated fresh produce, a baker delivered a tray of holiday pastries, and the toy store owner arrived with a wrapped gift for the boy. Someone even offered Emily a job at their shop. When Emily and her son came downstairs that evening, they were greeted by the sight of a decorated tree, a table piled high with food, and the warm smiles of the townsfolk. Emily's eyes brimmed with tears. "We've never experienced kindness like this," she said. "It's what Christmas is all about," Clara replied, placing a hand on her shoulder. That night, the Evergreen Inn was filled with laughter, music, and the spirit of giving. Clara watched as the boy tore into his gift, a wooden train set, his face alight with joy. For the first time in months, Clara felt a spark of hope. Perhaps this wouldn't be the last Christmas at the inn after all. And so, under the glow of twinkling lights, the town of Evergreen reminded everyone that miracles can happen, especially during the Yuletide season.